What you're looking at is an eBay frequency counter. Now, there's also one that uses LCDs. One of the digits bobbles even though the input signal is perfectly stable. Avoid those. These, you can get a bad one, but for the most part, this is the one you want to buy. And it operates on 9 volts. 9 volts DC, not AC. Now, they say you can operate it real quick or temporarily on 12 volts. And that's because, let me get it in the frame. These are regulators here. And they have no heat sinks on them. And if you put it on 12 volts, they'll overheat and burn out. All right, so now we know we have an eBay module. That's the one you should get. It comes in different colors too. Let me temporarily do what other people do. Ooh, eBay module. Ooh, look, I can change the frequencies without any voice, and it's 40 seconds long. And you clicked on it. He's making money on it, and you learn nothing. All right, so it's eBay. It's a module. It's a frequency counter module. I told you 9 volts. You can use 12 volts temporarily, real quick, but don't do it unless you put a heat sink on one of those regulators. Now, the other trick too is they give you two wires or two connectors, and if you don't look real closely, they're wired backwards from each other. All right, let's put them side by side. Notice if I'm in the frame. All right, one of these is for the power, and one of these is for the input signal, ground and the input frequency to the frequency counter. You put them backwards, the unit won't work. It's possible you could burn something out. I don't know. I caught it right away. The other thing too is, if they did ship you two the same, you could take a fine point and push right in here on this little dart or this little arrowhead. You push it down, pull the wire back, and you can reverse them. You could do that. That'll save your ass. Now, let's go with, you bought this frequency module and you want to hook it to a radio. Now, to get digital readout. Now, the radio has to have an IF section, and that's where this gets put. Actually, it goes on the local oscillator. And what I'm getting at is what is the IF frequency? You got to know that. You got to know where the local oscillator is and where the IF is, and or what the IF is. Now, why? Okay, you got the incoming signal. Let's make it 1 megahertz. It's in the middle of the AM broadcast band. Now, in most radios, the oscillator runs above that by 455. Not all radios. Some radios have different IF frequencies. They all don't have 455. So you got the incoming signal plus the frequency of it plus the IF. And that's what your oscillator is going to run at. So if you put this module the way it is on that oscillator, it's going to read the oscillator frequency with the 455 added to it. So if you're on 1 megahertz AM broadcast band frequency, your oscillator is going to be reading 1.455. And you're going to say, well, how do I fix that? Okay, it's called an IF offset. And there's a trick in this. This is why I'm doing this video. I'm going to show you the tricks that the other guy doesn't show you. All he shows you is he's hooked it up and he turns the control up and down. All right, you ready for the trick? You push this upper button here and we're going to go to IF offset. IF, this is offset. Notice this digit's blinking here. Now, we want to change this to 455. If you try to do anything, it's going to go back to beginning. It wants you to change this digit, even though it's bad programming. All right, so anyway, we've now pressed the bottom button, and we go through 0 through 9, back to 0. 8, 9, back to 0. Now the top button will let us go over. All right, over. All right, now we're going to go 4. 4, next, the other button, 455. All right, now we step out of it, and we'll go back to the incoming frequency, which is now offset. It's set for an oscillator that's 455 above the incoming frequency. Now, if you go back to the setup, IF, we don't need that now. If you reverse this, you would hit this the other way. Now, and we just set this for a 455 oscillator that sits, a local oscillator that sits for 455 below the incoming frequency. You can do it. This unit does do it, but when you work with this, you have to know what the IF frequency is of the radio. And you have to put this on the correct local oscillator. And some dual conversion radios, the frequency you're going to get is going to be an inverse. This frequency counter can't read it. It reads a frequency, but it's backwards because it's an inverse, because it's the second local oscillator. All right, there's so many tricks with just a simple frequency counter, and I showed you all of them that goes with this. I'm telling you more than anybody else tells you. That's the whole idea of my videos. I don't have a $40,000 lab. I don't wear a bow tie. I don't put my mug in every freaking video and sit there and stroke something that doesn't have a speck of dust on it. All right? This video is going to help somebody. I know it is. It's the same as when I did the little helicopter and showed people how to set the trims. And the trick is, you're not listening for a tone change, you're listening for the duration to get longer. And a lot of people didn't know you have to set the trim. See, it comes ready to fly, sorta. You got to go and set the trim. So people take it out of the box, they charge the battery, they go fly the helicopter, don't fly right. Same thing happened to me. But I sat there and I went through the instructions. I went online, and all I saw were hobby stores flying the thing in the store, and it wasn't flying right because the trims haven't been set. So I'm sitting there, and I showed you my trim set video. I understood the trims had to be set based on the old craft unit that I had. And I went and I did it, and I said, you know what? I bet other people would like to know this. Did a video, had a bunch of those Padner types. Everybody knows that. What a stupid video. You wasted my time. And then everybody else, thank you. I could not get it to work. Now it works. And then one girl, I'm having this one problem, and I went and simulated it. And I said, you missed the one trim. And then she went and fixed that trim, and the helicopter was flying. That's what I'm all about. And I make fun of those other people, and they're never going to change. It just bugs me to no end. I think that's it. All right, that's it.